It's a good idea to actually go to the business that's doing the recertification and watch them inflate the life raft. We've also prepared this Mayday sheet. So it's the basic information that you'd want to repeat out on the radio during a Mayday. Now these things need to be registered and updated every year.
Hi, this is Tom from Life 4.0. If you are here, you undoubtedly like boating and being on the water. So do Karen and I. It's been a lifelong passion. But in order to make the passion last a lifetime, we take personal safety very seriously on board our boat, SeaRose. Suffering from an avoidable injury or worse, hoping for rescue in a storm-tossed life raft is a quick way to lose that passion. In this fifth and final installment in our series on boating safety, we delve into Maydays, life rafts, and related safety topics like ditch bags and VHF communications. So let's go on board SeaRose.
So you want to make sure that everybody on board the boat knows how to basic operations of the VHF, how to call on channel 16 for an emergency, and that kind of thing. So what I've done down here in the nav station is at the VHF radio, I put some labels here for relevant information: length, beam, and draft of the boat, our U.S. Coast Guard number, our radio license number, and then our MMSI number. And we'll cover sort of basic operations of the radio with new people that come on board. We've also prepared this Mayday sheet. So it's the basic information that you'd want to repeat out on the radio during a Mayday. And it has the basic information about the boat and then the position of the boat and the nature of distress, etc. On the back of it, it's got the phonetic alphabet in case anybody needs to read off the name of the boat. So that's another handy reference that you want to have available close to the nav station. Okay, in the unlikely event that you need to abandon your boat, you want to have a couple things readily available at hand. The first thing I'll cover is ditch bags. So a ditch bag is something that has the basic equipment that you need to be able to have with you in a life raft. And you want to have this all ready to go so that you can just grab it quick and jump in the life raft. So we've got actually two ditch bags. There's one underneath the seat in our nav station here. It's that yellow bag there. So it's got some extra batteries, it's got flashlights, it's got a radio, and a couple other things like that. We've also got a additional ditch bag here. This is what they call a 48-hour pack. Most life rafts have a 24-hour pack, meaning that they have enough water and food for 24 hours for the number of people that the life raft is certified for. And I purchased this year. It's additional food and water for 24 to 48 hours. So we're going to go up on deck and I'm going to show you where our EPIRB is located. Again, in the case that you have to abandon the boat or if there's an emergency and you need rescue on board the boat. Our EPIRB is located out here right underneath the port helm. It's this case right here, and it will deploy if the boat is sinking, and you can also remove it yourself and pull it out that way and launch it. Now these things need to be registered and updated every year, and there's an expiration date. You can see our expiration date is in 2028. So you need to register that with your local country registry service, and for us it's the U.S. Coast Guard, so that they connect the registration number on the EPIRB with your vessel number and, most importantly, emergency contacts for the boat. So that's the location of the EPIRB. It's good to have these outside somewhere so that if the boat is going down, that they'll automatically deploy and have a chance of floating to the surface. They don't do much good if they're down below and they can't get to the surface when the boat goes down. And that brings us to the actual life raft itself. There's two different general styles of life rafts. One is the valise style, which is in a kind of a duffel bag, if you will, soft cover, and it's meant to be stored out of weather. And the other version is a hard cover, which is something that can be stored on deck and can handle rain and all that, and can be deployed automatically from its bracket. So we went with the valise style. We didn't really have a good place, we felt, on deck that we could store it. So it is down below in this locker here in the aft part of the cockpit. So down inside this locker, you can see this black bag is our 8-person life raft. And also, by the way, right next to it, this bar is the emergency tiller that you can use to connect right to the rudder quadrant to steer the boat in an emergency. So that's where our life raft is stored. Now, I'll be frank, there's a bit of a debate in terms of Valise-style life rafts and the whole thing about storing them inside of a locker. The concern there is that how quickly can you get it out and deploy it during an emergency. A hard case on the deck is certainly a great solution for deploying quickly. We've made a compromise here. Actually, I think that when we had our life raft service this year, the life raft company says we've never seen a Valise-style life raft hold up so well for its age. And I think that's because of the fact that it's stored down below and out of the way and out of the water. It would take a little bit longer to pull the life raft out of a locker and get ready to throw it overboard to deploy, but we feel it's a good compromise for having it stored in a place that is safe from the weather. You also hear some stories about life rafts being stolen on the deck. They're very expensive pieces of equipment, so they can be subject to theft. So yes, it would take us a little bit longer. I feel like the scenarios where if your boat's going to be sinking, I feel like in most scenarios I've read about, there is some time. It's not like, boom, I have 15 seconds to get off the boat. So we do feel good about the fact that it's accessible, it's in the cockpit, it can be pulled out in probably less than a minute, and then it's ready to throw overboard with a lanyard and deploy. One last comment on life rafts is I mentioned that we had ours recertified this year. I think it's every 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, that you have to have it recertified. It's a good idea if you have the opportunity to actually go to the business that's doing the recertification and watch them inflate the life raft. They will inflate it, check for leaks, pull out the perishable items in there and replace them with new items, check the lights and all that, and then replace batteries. It's really great to actually see your life raft inflated and to get an idea of what it's going to be like to try to climb into it when it's in the water. We did that. It was a very valuable experience, and I would definitely encourage you to try to do that. Try to arrange a time with your life raft service company to be there when they service and inflate your life raft.
Okay, that wraps up this 5th and final video in our series on boating safety. As always, we hope you enjoyed it, and we encourage you to like it so others can more easily find this kind of content. Be sure to check out our playlist of other how-to videos on our Life 4.0 channel, as well as our many sailing adventure videos, as we explore this amazing planet one anchorage at a time.